You were seen in every quiet effort you made today. The moments that passed without praise still mattered. The patience you kept when your nerves were already worn thin mattered. The answer you softened so another person would not have to meet the full force of your strain mattered. The task you finished while part of you wanted to stop mattered. The care you gave when no one paused to ask how much it was costing you mattered. Someone should say this plainly before the day goes any farther. You did more than many people could see. They may have seen the message you sent, but not the effort it took to form calm words. They may have heard your steady voice, but not the feeling you had to settle before you spoke. They may have received your help without knowing you had already used so much of your strength. They may have watched you move through the ordinary hours and assumed you were fine because you kept going. You kept going in ways that were almost invisible. You waited when impatience rose. You listened when your own thoughts were asking for room. You answered one more question. You remembered one more detail. You made one more choice for the sake of peace. You stayed kind in a moment when kindness required real effort. You held back words that would have made the room harder for everyone. You found enough steadiness to do what had to be done, even when no one knew how little steadiness you felt inside. These things count. The world does not always stop to honor the quiet forms of courage. It often responds to what can be measured, announced, finished, shown, or explained. Yet much of what makes a day livable comes from acts no one records. A breath taken before replying, a decision not to pass pain forward, a small duty completed without complaint. A face composed because someone else needed reassurance. A concern carried privately so an other person could feel safe. You gave some of that today. You may not have given it perfectly. You did not need to. Care does not become meaningless because your voice trembled, because your patience ran short, because you needed a moment alone, or because you could not do everything. The unseen effort is not erased by the places where you struggled. Both can be true. You can have done your best and still wish the day had gone differently. You can have loved people and still needed distance. You can have shown up and still feel emptied by the showing up. Nothing about that makes you cold. Nothing about that makes you selfish. Nothing about that makes you weak. It makes you human at the end of a demanding day. There were parts of you that stayed on duty longer than anyone realized. Your attention kept checking what others needed. Your mind kept returning to unfinished details. Your body kept moving through small responsibilities after its energy had begun to fade. Your heart kept trying to make sense of words, looks, silences, expectations, and changes in tone. Even during the moments that appeared still from the outside, something in you may have remained alert. You may have been thinking ahead. You may have been replaying what was said. You may have been preparing for what someone might ask. You may have been measuring your own words before speaking them. You may have been trying not to disappoint anyone. You may have been trying to keep the peace. You may have been trying to keep yourself from falling apart in a place where falling apart did not feel possible. That kind of effort can leave no visible mark, but you feel it now. You feel it in the way your thoughts keep moving after the room grows quiet. You feel it in the breath that does not quite deepen. You feel it in the shoulders that remain slightly raised, in the jaw that forgot it was free to loosen, in the hands that still seem ready to respond to the next need. You feel it in the strange space between wanting comfort and not knowing how to receive it. You do not have to explain that space. You have spent enough of the day explaining, deciding, adjusting, responding, or understanding. For these next moments, you do not need to prove that the day was difficult enough to deserve care. You do not need to compare your strain with anyone else's. You do not need a perfect reason for the heaviness you feel. You do not need to present evidence. Your own experience is enough. Some days wear a person down through one large event. Other days do it through 50 small demands that never seem serious enough on their own. A late reply, a change of plan, a task repeated, a worry pushed aside, a meal delayed, a need postponed, a conversation handled carefully, a mistake corrected quietly, a moment of loneliness hidden because there was no room for it. Small demands can gather until the whole inner life feels crowded. You may have moved through today while carrying concern for someone you love. You may have tried to sound hopeful for them. You may have searched for the right thing to say. Hen wondered later whether it was enough. You may have offered comfort while needing comfort yourself. You may have kept your own fear in the background because another person's fear seemed more urgent. That effort was seen. You may have spent the day meeting practical needs, food, messages, appointments, money, work, cleaning, transport, forms, calls, plans, problems. None of it looked dramatic. All of it required attention. Each demand took a small portion of you, and many of those portions were given without ceremony. That effort was seen. You may have been the person who remembered what others forgot. You may have noticed the missing detail, the change in mood, the thing that needed to be brought, the answer that had not arrived, the time that was running close. People often rely on the one who remembers without realizing how tiring it is to keep so much active in the mind. That effort was seen. You may have protected someone from the sharp edge of your own difficult hour. You may have chosen a calmer sentence. You may have waited before sending the message. You may have stepped away instead of saying what pain wanted to say. This does not mean you must always hide your truth. It only means that today, in at least one moment, you tried to keep pain from becoming more pain. That effort was seen. You may have gone to work with a private ache. You may have answered people normally while a part of you felt far away. You may have completed what was expected while wondering how long you could keep doing that. You may have smiled because it was easier than explaining. You may have said, "I'm fine," because there was no simple way to describe what you were carrying. That effort was seen. You may have stayed home and still found the hours demanding. You may have looked around and seen tasks everywhere. You may have felt guilty for not doing more, even though your body and mind were already asking for less. You may have judged yourself by what remained undone, instead of recognizing what it took to get through what you did. That effort was seen. You may have cared for children, parents, a partner, a friend, a patient, a customer, a team, or a household. You may have been interrupted again and again. You may have heard your name so many times that even love began to feel like another request. You may have felt ashamed of that feeling. There is no shame in needing quiet after being needed. The love was real. The strain was real too. You may have been alone for much of the day, with no one asking anything from you, and still found the hours difficult. Loneliness has its own demands. It asks you to keep yourself company when your own thoughts are not easy company. It asks you to make decisions without reassurance. It asks you to move through ordinary tasks without the comfort of being witnessed. That effort was seen. You may have been surrounded by people and still felt alone. You may have listened to conversation while keeping the most important part of your experience private. You may have wanted someone to look at you closely enough to understand without needing a full explanation. You may have wanted one person to recognize the moment your strength became effort. That longing was seen too. There is tenderness in being recognized at the end of a day that did not make room for your tenderness. You do not have to speak now. You do not have to name every difficult moment. You do not have to decide which feeling is the right one. You do not have to make the day sound better than it was, and you do not have to make it sound worse in order to receive comfort. You can let the truth be plain. Some parts were manageable. Some parts hurt. Some parts passed too quickly for you to understand them. Some parts stayed with you. Some parts asked more than you had ready to give. Some parts brought love. Some parts brought disappointment. Some parts were ordinary and still exhausting. You lived through all of them. The face you held together may be loosening now. The expression that told everyone you could handle things can relax. The voice that stayed measured can become quiet. The part of you that kept saying, "I can manage," does not need to say it again here. You are not being evaluated. No one is waiting for the perfect response. No one needs you to make these moments useful. There is no prize for staying alert after the need has passed. There is no failure in reaching the limit of what you can give in one day. Your limit is not a moral flaw. It is a true line within a living person. It changes from day to day. It responds to grief, work, hormones, health, conflict, worry, noise, memory, responsibility, and the simple fact that a human being cannot remain available without end. You may have crossed that line earlier than you wanted. You may have ignored it because there was more to do. You may have felt it when your patience shortened. You may have felt it when simple choices became hard. You may have felt it when you opened a message and could not find the energy to answer. You may have felt it when the smallest sound seemed too loud. You may have felt it when your eyes filled without a clear reason. You may have felt it when you wanted everyone to stop needing you for just a little while. That was not a lack of love. It was a need for care. The need for care does not cancel the care you gave. It reveals that giving has a cost, even when it is freely chosen. It reveals that the person who supports others also has a nervous system, a body, a history, and a finite amount of attention. It reveals that being dependable does not remove the need to be comforted. You deserve comfort before you have earned it through collapse. You deserve kindness before you reach the point where you can no longer function. You deserve a quiet response to your strain, not a lecture about how to become more efficient. You deserve to be met as a person, not managed as a problem. There may be a part of you that resists these words. It may say you did not do enough. It may bring forward the unfinished task, the sharp reply, the forgotten detail, the hour you lost, the promise you delayed, the habit you meant to change. It may believe comfort should be reserved for the version of you who handled everything well. That part learned to survive by keeping watch over your performance. It may have protected you once. It may have helped you meet expectations, avoid criticism, or stay prepared. It may not know how to stop when the day is over. It may fear that kindness will make you careless. It may confuse pressure with safety because pressure has been familiar for a long time. You do not need to fight that part. You can answer it with honesty. You can say, I know what remains unfinished. You can say, I know where I wish I had done better. You can say, I will return to what matters when I have more strength. You can say, punishment will not improve this hour. You can say, care is not the enemy of responsibility. You can say, I am still worthy of peace while I am incomplete. These are not excuses. They are sane words for a human life. You are not required to solve tomorrow before your eyes close. You are not required to review every conversation until you find the perfect meaning. You are not required to rehearse every possible outcome. You are not required to keep your whole life active in your mind to prove that you care about it. Caring can remain true while your thoughts grow quiet. Love can remain true while you stop responding. Responsibility can remain true while your body lies still. The people who matter do not become less loved because you need an interval without demands. The work does not become meaningless because you set it aside. The future does not become unsafe because you are not watching it for a few hours. You have watched enough for one day. You have listened enough. You have adjusted enough. You have tried enough. The word enough may feel unfamiliar. It may sound like a claim you are not ready to make. You do not have to say that everything was completed. You do not have to say that every choice was wise. Enough can mean only this: the day has received the portion of you that was available. That portion may have been smaller than yesterday's. It may have been shaped by poor sleep, grief, pain, anxiety, conflict, or discouragement. It may have been shaped by months of giving without renewal. It may have been shaped by a season that keeps asking you to be strong. A smaller portion can still be the whole of what you had. No one can give beyond what is truly there without eventually feeling the cost. You feel some of that cost now, not as a sentence, not as proof that you failed, as information. Your inner life is telling the truth about the day. It is saying that the careful words took effort. It is saying that the constant decisions took effort. It is saying that being reachable took effort. It is saying that staying composed took effort. It is saying that trying again took effort. It is saying that caring while discouraged took effort. It is saying that hope itself may have taken effort. You do not have to be grateful for every hard thing. You do not have to turn pain into a lesson before you are ready. You do not have to search for a bright side in order to deserve relief. There will be time for meaning later. This hour can be honest without becoming hopeless. You are here. The day is behind you. Your breathing continues without instruction. The surface beneath you is taking your weight. The room does not ask you to explain yourself. The quiet does not demand improvement. You can be exactly as worn as you are. You can be exactly as uncertain as you are. You can have mixed feelings. You can miss someone and still be angry. You can love your life and still need a break from its demands. You can feel thankful and depleted at the same time. You can have faith and still feel afraid. You can know that things may improve and still need comfort now. No single feeling has to define you. This moment is not asking for a final answer about who you are. It is only meeting you at the place where the day left you. Perhaps the day left you with words you never said. They can remain unsaid for now. Perhaps it left you with questions. They can remain unanswered. Perhaps it left you with a decision. It can wait until your mind has had time away from it. Perhaps it left you with regret. Regret does not need to be solved in the dark. Perhaps it left you with relief. You may receive that relief without guilt. Perhaps it left you numb. Numbness is also a sign that something in you has had enough stimulation for a while. Whatever is present does not have to become a task. A feeling can be present without becoming an assignment. A thought can pass without becoming a plan. A memory can rise without requiring a full return to the past. You do not have to follow every movement of the mind. You are not neglecting your life by stepping back from it for a little while. You are giving the most faithful parts of you a chance to become quiet. The part that kept track, the part that stayed ready, the part that tried to help, the part that expected the next interruption, the part that searched faces for signs of trouble, the part that listened for a change in someone's voice, the part that tried to prevent mistakes, the part that kept asking what else should be done. Each one has worked. Each one has earned a calmer hour. You may not know how to give yourself that hour. You do not need to know all at once. You only need to stop adding demands to this moment. Nothing more is required from your personality. Nothing more is required from your courage. Nothing more is required from your patience. Nothing more is required from your smile. Nothing more is required from your usefulness. Nothing more is required from your ability to understand everyone. You can stop performing wellness. You can stop pretending the hard part did not touch you. You can stop editing your experience so it will be easier for others to accept. Here, the truth can be quiet and complete. You made it through. Not untouched, not unchanged, not perfectly. You made it through as you were able. There is dignity in that. There is dignity in the person who has no polished lesson to offer at the end of a hard day. There is dignity in the one who says, even without words, I have reached the edge of my energy. There is dignity in needing the night. There is dignity in receiving care. The hidden work of today can end here. The patience you kept does not need to be kept any longer. The words you measured do not need further measuring. The face you arranged for others can return to its natural stillness. The concern you placed behind your eyes can loosen its grip. The part of you that remained ready can hear this clearly. No one is asking you for anything in this moment. You are seen without having to explain. You are cared for without having to impress. You are worthy of quiet without having to finish everything first. Stay with that truth for one breath, then another. The day does not need one more performance from you. The strain you carried did not begin at the moment you lay down. It gathered little by little. It gathered each time you said yes before checking whether you had anything left to give. It gathered each time you kept moving because stopping would have meant disappointing someone. It gathered each time you swallowed a sigh, postponed a need, or convinced yourself that the next task would be the last one. The body remembers these small agreements. It remembers the hours when you stayed available after your attention had begun to fray. It remembers the conversations in which you listened carefully while your own mind was asking for silence. It remembers the places where you chose duty over ease, not because you did not value yourself, but because something or someone mattered to you. There was love inside much of what wore you down. There was loyalty in it. There was responsibility. There was the wish to do right by people. There was the hope that your effort would make something easier for someone else. This is why your weariness deserves compassion rather than criticism. It did not appear because you are careless. It did not grow because you are incapable. It did not arrive as proof that you have become less than you once were. It came from carrying, adapting, trying, and remaining present through more moments than anyone else could fully count. Some burdens are obvious. They have names, dates, bills, diagnoses, deadlines, and consequences. Other burdens remain almost shapeless. They sit behind the ribs as expectation. They move through the mind as constant readiness. They show up as a sense that something might be forgotten. Someone might be upset, or one small mistake might make the whole day harder. That shapeless weight can be difficult to explain. You may say there was no single reason for feeling drained. You may look back and wonder why ordinary hours asked so much from you. You may judge your response because the day did not contain a clear disaster. A day does not have to become a crisis to use up your strength. Repeated interruption can do it. Uncertainty can do it. Noise can do it. Being watched, evaluated, or depended upon can do it. Changing roles too quickly can do it. Moving from worker to caregiver, from listener to problem solver, from peacemaker to planner, from one person's need to another's, can leave you with no clear moment in which you belonged only to yourself. You may have spent the day becoming whatever each moment required. Capable here, patient there, cheerful for one person, practical for another, quiet in one room, reassuring in the next. By the end, you may not know what you need because you have been reading everyone else for so long. That confusion is not a failure of self-awareness. It is what can happen when your attention has been turned outward for too many hours. The mind becomes skilled at scanning for what must happen next, and less able to hear the low, steady signal of its own need. Your need may have spoken quietly at first. A wish to sit down, a wish to cancel something, a wish to stop talking, a wish to eat without hurrying, a wish to close the door, a wish to have one choice made for you, a wish to be asked how you were with enough time for the true answer. You may have ignored those wishes because they seemed small. Small needs do not remain small when they are repeatedly postponed. They gather. They turn into irritability, heaviness, indecision, tears, detachment, or a strange inability to begin even the simplest task. They may appear as a longing to disappear from all requests for a while. They may make you feel unlike yourself. You are still yourself. You are yourself under strain. That distinction matters. The version of you who feels less patient is not the whole of you. The version who cannot think clearly is not the whole of you. The version who wants distance, quiet, or fewer questions is not the whole of you. These are expressions of a system that has spent too long responding. You do not need to build an identity from the hardest hour of your day. One sharp moment does not make you unkind. One forgotten task does not make you unreliable. One boundary does not make you selfish. One unanswered message does not make you uncaring. One evening of doing less does not erase all the times you did more. Your life contains more evidence of your heart than the mind can review while it is worn down. The mind at the end of a demanding day is not always a fair judge. It often selects the unfinished thing and ignores the completed ones. It remembers the awkward sentence and overlooks the many thoughtful words. It returns to the moment you became impatient but forgets the hour in which you stayed patient. This is not because your mind is against you. It is trying to prevent future pain. It searches for what went wrong because it wants to protect you from repetition. It revisits the uncomfortable exchange because it hopes another review will reveal a safer response. It keeps the question open because uncertainty feels dangerous when your strength is low. The search can stop without the answer being lost. What matters will still matter after a period of quiet. Insight does not always come from thinking longer. Sometimes it comes when the mind has been given enough distance to place things in proportion. The sentence that feels enormous now may look smaller later. The problem that seems impossible may become more workable when your attention is no longer stretched thin. You do not have to force that change. For now, it is enough to stop arguing with your own condition. You are worn. You are not ruined. You are depleted. You are not defective. You have reached the end of what this day could reasonably ask from you. That is not a tragedy. It is a boundary. You may have learned to distrust boundaries because they once brought conflict. You may have been praised for going beyond them. You may have become known as the one who could handle more. People may have admired your strength without recognizing how often that admiration became another expectation. Being capable can become a quiet trap. Others begin to assume you will manage. You begin to assume the same. You stop asking whether a demand is fair and start asking only how you will meet it. You solve the problem before admitting that you should not have had to solve it alone. You become efficient at carrying too much. Then the body speaks in the only language it has left. It slows, it aches, it loses interest, it becomes heavy, it asks for distance, it sends the same message through different doors. There has been too much input and not enough renewal. You do not need to hate the body for telling the truth. It is not betraying you by becoming less productive. It is not embarrassing you by needing more recovery than you expected. It is not failing because determination cannot override every limit. The body is not a machine with a moral obligation to perform. It is living tissue. It responds to nourishment, safety, rhythm, movement, grief, hormones, illness, age, stress, connection, and many factors that cannot be controlled by attitude alone. Kind thoughts can support you, but they are not a command that makes every symptom disappear. A loving inner voice matters, and so does practical care. Quiet, sleep, and reduced pressure can support recovery, but they are not medical treatment. If ongoing exhaustion, burnout, low mood, pain, or loss of functioning continues, you deserve real support from a qualified professional. Reaching for that support is not a failure of faith, strength, or self-love. It is one more way of taking your life seriously. You do not have to wait until everything becomes unbearable. You do not have to prove that you are struggling enough. You do not have to compare your experience with someone who appears to have it worse. Care is not awarded only to the person in the deepest crisis. You can seek help while still managing many parts of your life. You can be grateful and still need guidance. You can be strong and still need a place where strength is not required. You can believe in your own capacity and still recognize that some burdens become lighter when shared with someone trained to help. There is wisdom in support. There is wisdom in honest limits. There is wisdom in saying, "This has lasted too long, and I do not want to carry it alone anymore." For this hour, though, no decision has to be made. You are not being asked to create a plan for your whole life. You are only being asked to stop blaming yourself for being affected by what you have lived through. The human heart is affected by repeated disappointment. The human mind is affected by uncertainty. The human body is affected by pressure. The person who has remained brave for a long time can still become weary. This is not weakness arriving. It is truth becoming harder to ignore. Think of how often you asked yourself to continue before you had fully recovered from what came before. One difficult day may have followed another. One problem may have been answered by a new problem. A season that was supposed to ease may have stretched beyond the point you expected. You adapted because you had to. Adaptation can look like strength from the outside and feel like constant tension from within. You found ways to function. You lowered some expectations. You carried other expectations more tightly. You learned which feelings could be shown and which ones had to wait. You got through the hours. That helped you survive the season. Now, the same habits that helped you continue may not know how to step aside. The mind that learned to prepare for bad news may keep preparing even in a quiet room. The body that learned to brace may remain braced after the difficult conversation ends. The heart that learned not to expect much may struggle to trust a kind moment. None of these responses make you difficult. They make sense in context. You are not a collection of flaws. You are a person shaped by experience, doing your best with patterns that once served a purpose. Some patterns can change. They change more readily through safety than shame. They change when you are met with patience. They change when the demand to become different is replaced by the chance to feel secure enough to choose differently. You do not need to force yourself into peace. Force would only repeat the old message that you must perform the right condition. Peace does not need a performance. It begins when the inner struggle is no longer fed. It begins when you stop asking why you cannot be calmer and stay. Start recognizing how much has kept you activated. It begins when your response is understood rather than condemned. It begins when you speak to yourself as you would speak to someone whose full story you knew. You would not tell that person to try harder in this moment. You would not list every unfinished duty. You would not accuse them of wasting time. You would see the strain in their face. You would lower your voice. You would make room beside you. You would say, "You have carried enough for now." Offer that same truth inward, not as a slogan, not as a command, as an accurate reading of the day. You have carried enough for now. The phrase does not promise that every burden is gone. It does not deny what waits beyond this hour. It marks a pause in the carrying. A pause can be real even when it is temporary. A hand can set down a heavy bag before the journey is finished. A mind can stop planning before every question is settled. A heart can loosen without becoming careless. You do not lose your responsibility when you stop gripping it. What belongs to you will still belong to you later. What does not belong to you may become easier to recognize when you are no longer exhausted. Some of what you carried today may never have been yours. Another person's mood, another person's disappointment, another person's refusal to communicate clearly, another person's expectations of who you should be, another person's discomfort with your boundary. You may have taken these things into yourself because you wanted harmony. You may have believed that if you could understand enough, explain enough, or adjust enough, everyone would be at ease. Harmony cannot be created by one person carrying every difficult feeling in the room. You can care about someone without becoming responsible for every reaction they have. You can be thoughtful without erasing yourself. You can apologize for what is yours without accepting what is not. You can remain loving while letting another person carry their own emotional work. That understanding may not feel natural yet. It does not need to become natural this evening. It can be one quiet possibility placed near you. You are not required to hold the whole room together. You are not required to be the bridge every time. You are not required to make everyone understand. You are not required to keep offering access to parts of you that need protection. The wish to be kind does not require endless availability. The wish to be fair does not require self-abandonment. The wish to be dependable does not require silent collapse. You have permission to exist beyond what you provide. You have value when no one is benefiting from you. You have worth when you are not solving, soothing, organizing, fixing, or giving. There is a self beneath every role. That self may feel distant after a long day. It has not disappeared. It is present in the breath that wants more room. It is present in the long jing for quiet. It is present in the wish to be treated with care. It is present in the part of you that came here instead of demanding one more hour of effort. That choice matters. Turning toward comfort is not turning away from life. It is turning toward the place from which life can be met with greater steadiness. You may have been taught that renewal must be earned after all work is complete. Yet work is rarely complete. There is always another surface, another reply, another plan, another responsibility, another way to improve. If peace must wait for completion, it will always be postponed. You can receive a little of it in the middle of an unfinished life. You can receive it while some relationships remain complicated. You can receive it while money is uncertain. You can receive it while grief remains. You can receive it while you are learning. You can receive it while there are still choices to make. Your life does not have to become perfect before your inner world is offered kindness. Kindness is not the reward at the end. It is part of how you travel. It is part of how you return to yourself after giving too much. It is part of how you become honest about what can continue and what must change. Without kindness, every limit feels like a verdict. With kindness, a limit becomes guidance. The inability to continue may be telling you something important. The tears may be telling you something important. The wish to withdraw may be telling you something important. The repeated thought that you cannot keep doing everything in the same way may be telling you something important. You do not have to interpret every signal now. You can respect it before you fully understand it. You can stop calling it laziness. You can stop calling it failure. You can stop using the language of blame for an experience that needs care. There is no fault in being affected. There is no fault in needing less noise. There is no fault in having a smaller capacity after a hard season. There is no fault in not being cheerful. There is no fault in wanting to be alone. There is no fault in wanting someone near. There is no fault in not knowing which one you need. The answer may change from hour to hour. You are not inconsistent for having changing needs. You are responsive. You are alive. You are learning what this moment requires. All you can receive right now is one sentence. Let it be this: nothing is wrong with you for needing care. You do not have to repeat it. You do not have to believe it completely. You can let it remain nearby. Nothing is wrong with you for needing care. The part of you that protests can protest. The part that feels relief can feel relief. The part that is too numb to respond can remain quiet. No response is required. The truth does not become less true because it takes time to enter. You have spent many hours giving meaning, effort, attention, and patience to the world around you. Now the world can continue for a while without your supervision. Messages can remain unanswered. Rooms can remain imperfect. Questions can remain open. Someone may have to wait. Waiting is not harm. A delayed response is not abandonment. A closed door is not cruelty. An evening in which you protect your remaining energy is not a betrayal of anyone you love. You are not leaving your responsibilities forever. You are leaving them outside this moment. There is a difference. One is neglect. The other is renewal. You know how to return. You have returned to people and duties many times. The deeper lesson may be learning that you are also someone worth returning to. Return to the person beneath the effort. Return to the one whose patience has limits. Return to the one who needs to be spoken to with warmth. Return to the one who has been trying. You do not have to meet that person with a plan. Meet them with mercy. Meet them without a lecture. Meet them without asking for proof. The day has already shown what pressure can do. This hour can show what compassion begins to repair. Not all at once, not by force. By ending the argument against your own humanity. You were not weak today. You were carrying more than could be seen. You were not failing. You were reaching the edge of your available strength. You were not becoming a burden. You were becoming aware that you also need support. Let that awareness be enough for now. The next breath does not need to be impressive. The next moment does not need to be productive. You do not need to become a better person before this day can release you. You can stop here exactly as you are. No fault, no sentence, no demand for one more effort. Only a human being who has given what they could and has reached the place where care must begin. Care begins in ways so quiet that you may not recognize them at first. It begins when the body is no longer being hurried from one demand to the next. It begins when the eyes are given darkness instead of more information. It begins when the muscles receive the message that they do not have to prepare for another conversation, another decision, another interruption, or another task. Nothing dramatic has to happen. You do not need to feel a sudden wave of peace. You do not need to become empty of thought. You do not need to reach a perfect state before renewal can begin. The body knows how to use even a small reduction in pressure. It has been doing this for you all your life. While you lie still, processes continue without your direction. The heart keeps its rhythm. The lungs keep drawing what you need. The digestive system continues its patient work. Cells attend to repair. The brain sorts, clears, connects, and places parts of the day where they can be carried with less effort. You do not have to manage any of this. You do not have to supervise your own recovery. That may be one of the kindest truths available to you now. So much of the day required your involvement. Things happened because you remembered, responded, decided, checked, corrected, called, carried, prepared, or stayed alert. Quiet recovery is different. It does not depend on constant effort from the thinking mind. You can step back. The deeper systems of the body continue. Sleep supports memory, immune function, emotional regulation, and physical renewal, though no single night has to fix everything. A peaceful evening cannot erase every strain, and lying still is not a cure for illness or ongoing distress. Yet these hours can support the body in doing what it naturally does when the stream of demands becomes smaller. Support matters. A cup does not need to become completely empty before it can receive water. A person does not need to reach collapse before care becomes useful. A few quieter minutes matter. A slower breath matters. A room with fewer demands matters. Closing your eyes matters. Letting one thought remain unanswered matters. Each of these tells the body that the pace has changed. You may still feel alert inside. That does not mean nothing is happening. The nervous system does not always settle the instant the outer world becomes quiet. It may take time for the inside of you to understand that the immediate demands have ended. You have trained yourself to respond quickly. You have learned to listen for what might be needed. You have practiced continuing. You have repeated those patterns many times. It is natural that they do not disappear in a single moment. The goal is not to defeat alertness. The goal is to stop giving it new work. When the mind brings up a task, you do not have to complete it in thought. When it brings up a conversation, you do not have to replay every word. When it offers a problem, you do not have to solve it before morning. You can recognize the movement without following it. A thought may come. It may stay briefly. It may leave. Another may arrive. None of them require your full participation. This is not neglecting your life. It is changing how closely you stand beside every concern. During the day, attention may have been pressed against each problem. You examined it from every side. You searched for what you had missed. You tried to predict what would happen next. Now there can be a little distance. Distance does not remove love. It gives love room to breathe. Distance does not erase responsibility. It keeps responsibility from taking over every part of you. Distance does not make you careless. It reminds you that you are more than the issue currently occupying your mind. A quiet interval helps restore proportion. What felt like the whole world may return to its actual size. What felt urgent may reveal that it can wait. What felt personal may begin to look like another person's struggle rather than a verdict on your worth. What felt impossible may become one small step followed by another. This change may not happen consciously. It may occur beneath thought, while your body grows heavier and the hours pass without discussion. There is wisdom in not forcing clarity. Some answers need a mind that has not been pushed to its limit. Some feelings need space before they can be understood. Some decisions become kinder when they are not made from exhaustion. The pressure to know everything now can ease. You are not behind because you need time. You are not avoiding life because you choose not to answer it in this condition. You are protecting the quality of the answer by waiting until more of you is available. Even when no new answer appears, the pause still has value. Your worth is not measured by how quickly you turn every experience into progress. There are moments when simply reducing the strain is enough. There are hours meant for doing. There are hours meant for becoming quiet. The body recognizes the difference even when the mind has forgotten. It begins to lower the effort hidden inside ordinary posture. The forehead no longer needs to hold concentration. The eyes no longer need to search. The mouth no longer needs to prepare a reply. The neck no longer needs to keep you ready. The hands no longer need to reach for the next object. The legs no longer need to take you anywhere. The whole system can receive one repeated message. There is no immediate demand. You may not believe that message fully yet. Let the body hear it anyway. There is no immediate demand. Nothing is waiting at the side of the bed requiring an answer. No one is standing over you asking for a decision. The room can remain as it is. The day can remain unfinished. The world can turn without your help for these hours. This is not a rejection of those you love. It is how you preserve the part of you that can meet them again. Giving without renewal can make even tender duties feel unbearable. It can turn affection into irritation and generosity into resentment. This does not mean the love has gone. It means the person offering it has been asked to give without enough return. You deserve return. Not repayment from every person, not praise for every act. A return to your own center. A return to a pace that does not keep taking. A return to the simple experience of existing without being used for a purpose. There is something deeply restoring about not being needed for a while. You are still valuable. You are still connected. You are still loved. Yet no task has to prove any of that. You can lie here without producing a result. You can breathe without turning the breath into an achievement. You can be quiet without making the quiet meaningful. You can receive the darkness without studying what it is doing to you. The less you demand from this hour, the more freely it can support you. A part of you may be watching for signs that it is working. Am I calmer yet? Am I close to drifting off? Why is the mind still active? Why do I still feel the day in my body? These questions are understandable, but they can become another form of work. You do not need to measure the quiet. You do not need to check your progress. You do not need to know the exact moment when renewal begins. It may already be happening in ways you cannot feel. A muscle may be releasing a small amount of effort. The heartbeat may be finding a steadier rhythm. The breath may be moving a little lower. The mind may be repeating itself less sharply. The body may be using stillness even while thought continues. Not every useful change announces itself. Much of what supports life happens without a visible sign. The deepest care is often quiet. It does not rush into the room with promises. It does not demand belief. It does not ask you to become inspired. It stays. It gives the body time. It makes space for what has been overworked. It trusts gradual change. You can trust gradual change too. You have been living in a world that often praises speed, fast answers, fast recovery, fast improvement, fast return to productivity. Even pain is expected to become a lesson quickly. Your inner life does not have to follow that pace. You can take longer. Your strength can return in its own way. Your thoughts can become clearer in their own way. Your heart can find steadiness without being hurried toward it. Slow change is still change. A quiet night is not wasted because you wake with some of the same concerns. One period of ease does not have to transform your entire life to be worthwhile. If it gives your body a little more room, it matters. If it interrupts the cycle of pressure for a few hours, it matters. If it helps you meet tomorrow with one more measure of patience, it matters. If it reminds you that life contains moments when nothing is being demanded, it matters. These moments teach the body that strain is not the only condition available. They do not erase the past. They offer another experience beside it, an experience of lying down without punishment, an experience of closing the eyes without having solved everything, an experience of being unfinished and still safe enough to become quiet, an experience of receiving care that does not need to be earned. Repeated experiences like these can become a new kind of familiarity. The body learns through repetition. It learns the tone of your inner voice. It learns whether a mistake will be met with attack or understanding. It learns whether a limit will be respected. It learns whether the end of the day truly means the demands can lessen. You are teaching it now, not through force, through what you stop requiring. You stop requiring perfect calm. You stop requiring immediate sleep. You stop requiring yourself to feel grateful. You stop requiring every thought to disappear. You stop requiring the day to make sense. Without these requirements, the night becomes wider. There is room for you exactly as you are. A person can be uneasy and still be cared for. A person can be sad and still receive quiet. A person can be uncertain and still lie safely beneath the dark. A person can carry grief and still let the muscles loosen. A person can miss someone and still let the hours pass. A person can have a difficult life and still receive one peaceful interval. You are not asked to choose between truth and comfort. You can have both. The truth may be that something hurts. Comfort can sit beside that truth. The truth may be that you do not know what happens next. Quiet can remain beside that uncertainty. The truth may be that you have been carrying too much. This hour can reduce the carrying without denying the burden. You do not need false promises. You need enough safety to stop pushing. You need enough kindness to stop accusing yourself. You need enough time for the body to remember that it is more than a tool for getting through the day. Your body has lived every moment with you. It has carried your worry in the chest. It has carried your determination in the jaw. It has carried your restraint in the throat. It has carried your readiness in the shoulders. It has carried your long hours in the back and legs. It has not been working against you. Even the discomfort has often been an attempt to communicate. A headache may ask for less strain. Heavy eyes may ask for darkness. Restlessness may reveal that the system has not yet understood that it can stop. An ache may ask for a change of position or real attention. These messages deserve respect, not fear or self-diagnosis. When symptoms continue or concern you, professional care matters, But within this quiet hour, you can respond to the simple needs that are clear: less pressure, less noise, less demand, more patience, a little warmth, a little space. The body does not need an elaborate ceremony. It responds to consistency, to being listened to before it has to shout, to being fed before weakness becomes sharp, to being moved without punishment, to being placed in darkness when the day is over, to being spoken to as something worthy of protection. You are worthy of protection, not because you are fragile, because you are alive. Living things need conditions in which they can recover. The day has conditions for action. Night has conditions for return. The light changes. The pace changes. Sounds become fewer. Doors close. Roads empty. Rooms darken one by one. Somewhere beyond your walls, the wider world is also beginning to settle. A dog that spent the late hours watching the road hears a familiar voice and turns toward home. A gate that opened and closed throughout the day is eased into place. Footsteps cross a yard for the final time. A last conversation grows quieter as two people move toward separate doors. No announcement passes through the streets. No bell declares that enough has been done. Still, the message travels. The day is ending. It passes from house to house through small, ordinary actions. A bowl is carried inside. A chair is moved back beneath a table. A curtain is drawn. A porch is left empty. A light near a doorway remains for a moment, then goes dark. Farther along, another door closes, then another. The town does not disappear. It becomes less exposed. All the lives within it remain. Their joys remain. Their problems remain. Their responsibilities will still exist when the sun returns. Yet no one expects the valley to keep the brightness and movement of afternoon through every hour. The streets are not judged for becoming empty. The shops are not failures because their doors are shut. The homes are not careless because their voices become quiet. The whole place understands what people often forget about themselves. A day can end before everything is complete. There may still be washing in a basin. There may still be letters unanswered. There may still be tools waiting where they were placed. There may still be a conversation that did not reach its conclusion. There may still be worry in one home and grief in another. Even so, the lamps lower. Even so, the doors close. Even so, the valley enters darkness. Not because every life within it is easy, because no life can remain outward forever. There must be an hour when attention comes home. The town knows this without discussion. The dogs are called in. The final footsteps turn from the road. Hands draw gates toward their posts. Voices that carried across the evening become nearer, quieter, then still. The people do not stand outside debating whether they have earned the right to go in. They know the day has changed. They respond. You can respond to that change too. You do not have to finish what daylight began. You can come inward. You can leave the road of thought. You can stop standing at every open gate in the mind. You can let the last voices of the day trail away without following them. The world beyond you is not asking to be watched through the night. The valley does not need one person awake to keep it safe. Its paths remain. Its homes remain. Its fields remain beneath the dark. What has been cared for today can remain where it is. What needs attention tomorrow can wait for morning hands. The town trusts the closed gate. It trusts the quiet road. It trusts that what belongs inside has been called home. There may be a part of you still wandering at the edge of the day, the part thinking about the message, the part returning to the mistake, the part waiting for another demand, the part wondering whether someone is displeased. You do not have to drag that part inward. You can call to it with kindness. The day is done enough. Come closer. There is no need to remain at the gate. The road will still be there later. The unanswered question will not be harmed by darkness. The unfinished duty can stay where it was placed. One by one, the scattered parts of your attention can turn toward home. The part that stayed with work can come back. The part that stayed inside another person's mood can come back. The part that traveled into tomorrow can come back. The part that remained inside an old conversation can come back. No part is scolded for wandering. Each one was trying to help. Each one thought it had to remain outside a little longer. Now the valley is becoming still. The road no longer needs watching. The gate can move toward its place. The last voices can fade. You are not shutting out life. You are gathering yourself from it. You are bringing your attention back from every place where it has been standing guard. You are letting the inner town become quiet, house by house, room by room. Not all at once, one light at a time, one doorway at a time, one thought no longer answered, one concern no longer carried forward, one task left untouched until daylight. There is no harm in this. There is wisdom in it. The valley does not apologize for darkness. It receives it. The homes do not explain why their windows grow dim. They accept the hour. The streets do not ask whether they were useful enough. They become empty. Let the same natural ending reach you. You have been outside in the demands of the day for long enough. The gate can ease shut. The voice that kept calling you toward one more task can grow distant. The whole valley is agreeing, without a word, that nothing more must happen now. The quiet moves through the valley without needing to be explained. It reaches the homes at different times. One family has finished clearing the table. In another house, someone is still moving through a final small chore. Farther down the road, a light remains above a doorway while footsteps cross the yard. Near the edge of town, a dog circles once before lying near the warmth of home. Not every window darkens together. Not every voice fades at the same moment. Still, the whole place is moving in one direction, toward fewer sounds, toward closed doors, toward the inward life of evening. Nothing is being forced. The town does not command every home to become still at once. It does not measure which family completed the day first. It does not shame the window that remains lit longer than the others. Each home settles according to what happened within it. You can settle according to what happened within you. There is no correct speed. Someone else may appear to move through difficulty with greater ease. Someone else may be able to close their eyes without carrying the day into bed. Someone else may wake early, speak brightly, and seem ready to begin again before you have recovered from what came before. Their rhythm does not define yours. Your inner lights may take longer to dim because more happened behind them. Your thoughts may continue because you had no time to think during the day. Your feelings may arrive only after the needs around you became quiet. You may be meeting your own experience for the first time now. That is not lateness. It is what happens when a person has spent the day attending to everything else. The valley does not hurry the final house. It leaves room for the last gate to close. It leaves room for the last bowl to be carried inside. It leaves room for the person who stands for a moment at the doorway, looking down the road before entering. You can have that moment too. You can stand at the edge of the day without returning to it. You can look back without walking back. You can recognize what happened without reopening every door. Some moments deserve to remain outside for now. The difficult look, the unfinished reply, the thing you wish you had said, the thing you wish you had not said, the worry that kept returning, the task that took longer than expected, the need you could not meet, the promise you are afraid you may not keep. They can remain along the road until daylight makes them easier to see. Darkness is not the hour for judging distance. A path that appears uncertain now may become clear when the valley fills with light again. You do not have to decide where every road leads. You only need to come inside. The town has many roads, but each one eventually turns toward a home. Your attention has traveled many roads today. It went toward other people's voices. It went toward unfinished work. It went toward memories. It went toward possible futures. It went toward danger that never arrived. It went toward conversations you could not control. It went toward responsibilities that may take many days to complete. No wonder you feel scattered. Your attention has been standing in many places at once. Now it can begin returning, not with urgency, not as another task to perform correctly. It can return the way the final voices return from the road, becoming nearer until they pass through a doorway and are no longer part of the night air. One part of you returns from the room where you tried to keep everyone comfortable. One part returns from the message you keep imagining. One part returns from the face you studied for signs of disappointment. One part returns from tomorrow morning. One part returns from a mistake made long ago. One part returns from the belief that you should have handled everything better. Each part comes back carrying dust from the road. None is questioned. None is punished for staying away too long. The door remains open long enough for every weary paw to enter. You do not have to account for where your mind has been. You do not have to justify why it wandered. The mind often travels because it is searching for safety. It searches the past for the place where things changed. It searches the future for signs of what might happen. It searches other people's behavior for an answer about your own worth. It searches every unfinished matter because incompletion can feel like danger. Thank it for trying. Then let the search become quieter. The valley is not safer because every road is watched. Your life is not safer because every outcome is rehearsed. There are limits to what thought can protect you from. There are limits to what preparation can prevent. There are limits to how much of tomorrow can be carried before it arrives. Accepting those limits may feel frightening. It can also be freeing. You do not have to become the night watch for your whole life. You do not have to stay at the highest window looking for what might approach. You are permitted to be inside your own home. You are permitted to be unreachable for a while. You are permitted to trust that the next hour can pass without your management. The town has closed many gates now. A gate does not close because the road is hated. It closes because the home within deserves protection from endless coming and going. Your inner gate can serve the same purpose. It does not need to close against love. It can close against unnecessary demand. It can close against one more review of the day. It can close against the pressure to understand everything before your eyes become heavy. It can close against voices that do not belong in this hour. A gate can be firm without anger. It can settle into place without making an enemy of what remains outside. You can say, "Not now," without saying, "Never." You can say, "This can wait," without denying that it matters. You can say, "I cannot carry this further tonight," without abandoning what you care about. There is tenderness in a boundary that protects what is worn. There is wisdom in knowing when the road has received enough traffic. The houses understand this. The doors close, the voices lower. The people inside do not remain prepared for every possible visitor. They turn toward the small needs of home. A drink of water, a blanket drawn higher, A final glance toward the window, a lamp lowered. A familiar room entered without ceremony. These ordinary actions tell the body where it is. They say the outward hours have ended. They say nothing more needs to be presented. They say the face can become unguarded. You may have spent years believing that care must be dramatic before it counts. A great rescue, a perfect answer, a person who understands everything without being told. A life change large enough to remove every source of strain. Sometimes care is much smaller. A quiet room, a loose door, a sentence that does not accuse you, a few minutes in which no one can reach into your attention, the chance to be unobserved, the chance to feel what you feel without correcting it, the chance to become quiet before every problem is solved. Small care is still care. The valley is settling through small acts. No single doorway creates the stillness. No single lowered voice changes the whole night. Yet each one contributes. Each dog called home. Each gate placed against its post. Each person leaving the road. Each final conversation ending near a door. Together, these ordinary endings create a place in which the entire town can become quiet. Your own ease can also begin through small endings. You do not have to end every worry. You can end the need to answer one of them. You do not have to release every responsibility. You can stop carrying one task through this hour. You do not have to trust the whole future. You can trust the next few minutes. You do not have to feel completely cared for. You can become willing to receive one small sign of care. The surface beneath you is one sign. The darkness around you is one sign. The fact that no new decision is required in this moment is one sign. The breath that continues without effort is one sign. The voice meeting you without asking anything back is one sign. Care does not always arrive as an event. Sometimes it arrives as the end of demand. Sometimes it is what remains when the pressure stops. Sometimes it is the simple experience of not having to carry yourself alone through every thought. You can let the valley hold the ending of this day. You can let its closing gates speak for the limits you were unable to name. You can let its fading voices answer the part of you that thinks one more conversation must be completed. You can let its darkening windows remind you that a life remains valuable when it is no longer visible to the world. What happens inside a quiet home does not need an audience. A person can recover strength without anyone witnessing it. A heart can become steadier in private. A mind can place down its questions without making an announcement. The most important work of these hours may happen beyond conscious thought. You do not need to report it. You do not need to understand it. You do not need to wake with a story about how you changed. You can receive the night as it comes. The valley is almost fully inward now. The larger sounds have gone. What remains is near. A movement inside a house, a small sound at a gate. The brief call of someone making sure a dog has followed. A final voice saying a final word before the door closes. Then space. The kind of space that does not feel empty. The kind that feels protected. You deserve that kind of space within yourself. Not emptiness, protection. Not the absence of all feeling, the absence of new demand, not the loss of connection, a return to connection that does not require performance. You may not know how to create that space completely. Let the valley create some of it for you. Let its evening rhythm become a message your body can understand. The road is quieting. The gates are closing. The day has stopped calling your name. As the valley quiets, care reaches you. Do not work to believe it. Let the words remain simple. The valley does not ask whether you earned the darkness. It covers every home. It reaches the house where the day was joyful. It reaches the house where someone cried. It reaches the room where everything was completed. It reaches the room where work remains. It reaches the person who feels peaceful. It reaches the person who cannot yet become calm. The night does not choose only the deserving. It arrives for everyone. Care can arrive that way too. It can reach you before you have improved. It can reach you while your thoughts are untidy. It can reach you while you remain uncertain. It can reach the parts of you that have not learned how to receive it. You do not have to open every door within yourself. A small opening is enough. A little willingness is enough. As the valley quiets, care reaches you. There may be resistance. A voice may say that words are not enough. That voice may be right about some things. Words cannot change every circumstance. They cannot remove every burden. They cannot replace the support you need in waking life. They cannot undo what happened. They can still offer a different way to meet this hour. They can stop adding blame to pain. They can stop turning weariness into a personal failure. They can remind you that receiving comfort does not require denying reality. If the full affirmation feels too far away, use something smaller. I can let one small part come home. That is enough. One part. Not all of you. Not every thought. Not every feeling. Only one small part that has been standing outside too long. The part that kept waiting for praise. The part that wanted someone to ask how you were. The part that tried not to cry. The part that remained strong because there seemed to be no other choice. Invite that one part inward. No explanation, no judgment, no demand that it become peaceful. It can sit near the door. It can keep its coat on. It can remain uncertain. It only needs to know that it is no longer alone on the road. The town has room for the late arrival. Your own heart has room too. You have not missed the hour of care. You have not waited too long to turn inward. You have not become too complicated to comfort. The door remains open. The voice inside has become quieter so you can hear it. Come in as you are. Bring the strain. Bring the doubt. Bring the part that cannot trust this yet. No part must be left outside to prove that you are improving. The whole of you belongs within your own care. As the valley quiets, care reaches you. Let that be the third and final time. No more effort is needed around it. The words can settle where they settle. You may remember them later. You may forget them completely. The body may still receive their meaning. The meaning is not that someone else will always know exactly what you need. The meaning is that care is possible even after a day of being overlooked. The meaning is that the absence of recognition during daylight does not make your effort invisible forever. The meaning is that you can be met now without recounting every detail. The meaning is that you do not have to earn tenderness by describing your pain perfectly. You can be cared for before you find the right words. You can be cared for while you remain quiet. You can be cared for when all you have is a long breath and the wish for the day to end. That wish is enough to begin. The valley has almost completed its agreement. The final voices are near their doors. The final gate no longer moves. The road belongs to darkness now. No one stands in the center of town asking whether more should be done. There is a shared understanding. Whatever was possible has been given. Whatever remains will meet another day. You can join that understanding. You can stop making a private exception for yourself. You do not have to be the one house that keeps every light burning because there is more to do. You do not have to be the one gate that remains open because someone might need you. You do not have to be the one voice that keeps speaking because silence feels unfamiliar. You can join the valley. You can become one more life turning inward, one more mind leaving the road, one more heart no longer standing at the edge of every demand. The quiet will not erase you. It will receive you. If it feels natural, you may leave a simple good night in the comments before you drift farther inward. Let it be less of a message to anyone else and more like placing your own small light among the darkening windows, a sign that you too are finished carrying the day. Then leave the word where it is. No further response is needed. No conversation must follow. The invitation itself can close. The valley returns to silence. You return to yourself. Somewhere, the last person outside reaches the final doorway. A hand finds the gate. Wood meets its post. A familiar voice calls once. Footsteps cross the yard. The road becomes empty. The town is not abandoned. it is sheltered. The homes are not lifeless. They are inward. The people have not stopped caring. They have stopped carrying the day in public. You can do the same. Your care remains. Your love remains. Your responsibilities remain. You do not have to keep displaying them through alertness. You do not have to stay mentally awake to prove that tomorrow matters. Morning will find the roads again. It will touch the gates. It will enter the windows. It will return shape and distance to the valley. What is unclear now may look different then. What feels too large may become one thing at a time. What feels lonely may become easier to name. What feels unfinished may become possible to approach. You do not need to reach morning yet. The valley is asking nothing of you between this moment and then. No answer, no strength, no cheerful thought, no promise that everything will improve. Only your presence inside the quiet. Only your willingness to stop walking the roads of the day. Only the closing of one more inner gate. Let the gate meet its place. Let the last voice travel home. Let the final light become dim. You are not outside anymore. You have come in. The day can no longer follow you past this door. The town has gone inward, and your body can follow. Nothing has to move quickly now. The outer roads are empty. The gates are settled. The last familiar voices have passed through their doors. Each home has become its own small place of quiet, and every part of you can begin to receive the same message. The forehead has carried thought all day. It tightened around decisions. It lifted with concern. It drew inward when you tried to understand what another person meant. It stayed active when you needed to remember, organize, predict, and respond. Thank your forehead for concentrating when concentration was required. It does not need to hold the shape of thought any longer. On the exhale, let the forehead release. The space between the eyebrows has been keeping watch. It narrowed when something felt uncertain. It gathered when you looked for an answer. It remained alert during moments when you were not sure what would happen next. Thank that small space for trying to help you see clearly. The road outside is quiet now. On the exhale, let the space between the eyebrows release. The eyes have taken in more than images. They have read faces. They have searched messages. They have moved from one task to another. They have seen what pleased you and what troubled you. They may have hidden what you felt so no one would ask a question you were not ready to answer. Thank your eyes for witnessing the day. They no longer need to search the darkness. On the exhale, let the eyes release. The small muscles around the eyes can stop preparing to look again. The lids can become heavier without being pushed. Nothing outside needs to be checked. No road needs to be watched. No window across the valley is waiting for your attention. The darkness can remain unexamined. On the exhale, let the muscles around the eyes release. The cheeks have carried your public face. They lifted when you wanted someone else to feel reassured. They stayed composed when the inside of you felt less composed. They helped you appear available through moments when you wanted to turn inward. Thank your cheeks for helping you meet the world. No expression is required here. On the exhale, let the cheeks release. The jaw has held back words. It has pressed through effort. It has remained firm while you continued. It may have tightened around anger, fear, concentration, or the wish not to cry. Thank your jaw for containing what could not be expressed earlier. The gate is closed. No reply is being formed. On the exhale, let the jaw release. The tongue has worked through every spoken word. It has shaped explanations, answers, greetings, apologies, requests, and reassurances. It may have remained still when speaking would have made things harder. It may have wanted to say what the moment could not hold. Thank your tongue for every word offered and every word wisely delayed. Nothing else needs saying now. On the exhale, let the tongue rest loose. The lips have greeted, answered, smiled, and held silence. They have carried words that helped others. They may also have carried words that came out less kindly than you intended. One imperfect sentence does not need to remain in the mouth all night. Thank your lips for serving the day. They can become still. On the exhale, let the lips release. The throat has carried what was spoken and what remained inside. It has held the pause before difficult words. It has tightened around tears. It has carried the effort of sounding steady. It has swallowed reactions when there was no safe place to express them. Thank your throat for protecting your voice. The last voices in the valley have gone home. On the exhale, let the throat release. The neck has kept your head lifted through long hours. It has turned toward every sound that needed attention. It is bent toward screens, work, people, and small duties. It may have stayed firm when the rest of you wanted to lower. Thank your neck for keeping you present. It can stop keeping the day upright. On the exhale, let the neck release. The shoulders have carried more than physical weight. They have lifted when another responsibility arrived. They have remained ready when you expected interruption. They have tightened when you felt responsible for the mood of the room. They have carried the silent statement, I will handle it. Thank your shoulders for every burden they helped you bear. No new burden is entering through the door. On the exhale, let the shoulders release. Let them lower by their own amount. Not as far as they should, not as far as someone else's might, only as far as they are ready. A small lowering counts. The upper arms have reached, lifted, carried, held, and worked. They have brought things closer. They have moved what had to be moved. They may have held another person or longed to be held themselves. Thank your upper arms for their strength. They do not need to prove it now. On the exhale, let the upper arms release. The elbows have bent through hundreds of ordinary movements. They have made service possible without recognition. They have helped your hands reach every task. Thank them for their quiet work. Their work is complete for this hour. On the exhale, let the elbows release. The forearms have carried tension into action. They have typed, cleaned, prepared, steadied, and supported. They may still feel ready to reach for something. Nothing needs to be reached. The homes are closed. The rooms are settled. On the exhale, let the forearms release. The wrists have adjusted constantly. They have turned keys, lifted cups, opened doors, carried bags, and guided your hands through many small duties. Thank your wrists for their flexibility. They can become heavy now. On the exhale, let the wrists release. The hands have done so much that no one counted. They have picked up what others left behind. They have prepared what someone needed. They have held work, care, worry, and responsibility. They have touched objects connected to every part of the day. Thank your hands for their service. They are empty now. On the exhale, let the hands release. The palms no longer need to grip. Nothing will fall because you stop carrying it. No gate needs your hand upon it. No door must be kept open. On the exhale, let the palms release. The fingers can uncurl. Each finger has completed its final task. They do not need to hold the blanket tightly. They do not need to reach for a device. They do not need to check whether anything has changed. Thank every finger. On the exhale, let the fingers release. The upper back has supported you through hours of sitting, standing, leaning, turning, and continuing. It has held the posture of capability. It may have grown rigid from trying to stay ready. Thank the upper back for helping you remain upright. The day no longer needs to be carried behind you. On the exhale, let the upper back release. The middle back has steadied your movement. It has adjusted to every chair, every step, every task. It may hold strain you did not recognize while you were busy. Thank the middle back for its patient support. The road is no longer beneath your feet. On the exhale, let the middle back release. 1.5s. The lower back has borne the weight of long hours. It has supported bending, lifting, standing, and sitting. It may have asked for relief before you could give it. Thank the lower back for staying with you. Let the surface beneath you offer more of the support. On the exhale, let the lower back release. The chest has carried breath through every emotion. It has tightened with worry. It has expanded with relief. It has held the ache of missing someone. It has carried the pressure of things you could not control. Thank your chest for making room for all of it. The valley is still. On the exhale, let the chest release. The heart has continued through joy, disappointment, fear, tenderness, and strain. It has not required you to remember each beat. It has stayed with you when you felt alone. It has carried love, even when love became difficult. Thank your heart for its faithful work. It does not need to solve anything. On the exhale, let the space around the heart release. The ribs have protected what is tender. They have opened and closed around every breath. They may have felt tight when emotion had nowhere to go. Thank your ribs for their protection. The inward homes of the valley are safe for this hour. On the exhale, let the ribs release. The breath does not need to become deep. It does not need to follow a count. It can be small. It can be uneven. It can find its own pace. You have directed enough things today. The breath can direct itself. On the exhale, let effort leave the breathing. The stomach has received the day in its own way. It has reacted to hurry, uncertainty, hunger, fullness, and emotion. It may have tightened when you felt unsafe. It may have carried worry before the mind gave that worry a name. Thank your stomach for communicating. It does not need to become perfectly calm. On the exhale, let the stomach release what it can. The abdomen has helped stabilize every movement. It has guarded you when you felt exposed. It may still be drawing inward, as though something must be endured. Nothing is approaching. No footsteps remain on the road. On the exhale, let the abdomen release. The sides of the waist have turned and reached through the day. They have adjusted to every small movement. Thank them for their flexibility. They can become still without losing their strength. On the exhale, let the waist release. The hips have carried you from place to place. They have supported standing, sitting, walking, and waiting. They may be holding the memory of too many hours in one position. Thank your hips for bearing your weight. The bed or surface beneath you can receive more of it now. On the exhale, let the hips release. Break time 1.5s. The pelvis has supported the center of your body without praise. It has remained steady through every change of posture. Thank it for the quiet work no one sees. There is nowhere else to go. On the exhale, let the pelvis release. The thighs have helped you rise when you wanted to remain seated. They have carried you across rooms, streets, halls, and familiar paths. They have worked beneath every task. Thank your thighs for bringing you through the day. The roads are empty now. On the exhale, let the thighs release. The knees have bent beneath every step. They have supported movement even when you felt uncertain. They may carry strain from standing too long or moving too quickly. Thank your knees for their willingness. No next step is required. On the exhale, let the knees release. The calves have pushed you forward. They have steadied you when you paused. They have helped you climb, lower, and continue. Thank your calves for every unnoticed movement. The last walk home has ended. On the exhale, let the calves release. The ankles have made countless small corrections. They have kept you balanced on uneven ground. They have adjusted without asking for attention. Thank your ankles for their constant care. The ground no longer needs to be read. On the exhale, let the ankles release. The heels have met every floor and road. They have received the impact of each step. They have carried the firmness of your movement. Thank your heels for supporting the journey through this day. They can sink into stillness. On the exhale, let the heels release. The soles of the feet have known every surface beneath you. They have carried warmth, cold, pressure, speed, and waiting. They may still hold the feeling that another step is coming. No step is coming now. On the exhale, let the soles release. The toes have helped keep you balanced. They have pressed into shoes and floors. They have done their small part without recognition. Thank every toe. Nothing requires balance while you are lying here. On the exhale, let the toes release. The whole body has been thanked, not because it performed perfectly, because it stayed, because it communicated, because it carried you through every visible and invisible moment. Some areas may already feel looser, some may not. No part has failed the exercise. No area is required to change. Even a body that remains tense can be met with kindness. Even a mind that continues can belong to the quiet. Even a heart that still aches can be sheltered through the night. The town does not demand that every home feel the same inside. One room may contain laughter remembered from the day. Another may contain worry. Another may hold grief. Another may hold nothing but ordinary weariness. All are covered by the same darkness. All are part of the same quiet valley. You do not have to create a different inner condition to belong here. You belong as you are. The body may now become less like a collection of tasks. It can become one life lying still, one life no longer moving from gate to gate, one life no longer answering every voice. one life inside its own walls. Let the quiet begin to fall in short lines now. Do not hold each one. Do not test it. Let it pass through like the final sounds disappearing from the town. I have come home. I am inside. I can be still. I have done enough. I am no longer answering. I leave the road. I close the gate. I lower the light. I welcome quiet. I receive this hour. I am safe here. I am not on duty. I can stop watching. I can stop preparing. I can leave things unfinished. I can return tomorrow. I am more than my work. I am more than my worry. I am more than today. I do not need proof. I do not need answers. I do not need permission. I can receive care. I can receive silence. I can receive darkness. I can receive support. I can be unguarded. I can be imperfect. I can be weary. I can be quiet. I am not failing. I am not behind. I am not forgotten. I am seen. I am cared for. I am within my own kindness. I am free from urgency. I am finished for now. I let the voices fade. I let the windows dim. I let the road empty. I let the gate settle. I let my face loosen. I let my hands be empty. I let my thoughts pass. I let tomorrow wait. I let this hour hold me. I trust the closed door. I trust the quiet road. I trust this pause. I trust one breath. I trust the dark. I am coming inward. I am becoming still. I am growing quieter. I am here. I am home. The lines can become smaller. I am sheltered. I am enough. I am cared for. I am at ease. I can pause. I can soften. I can receive. I can let go. I can be. I am quiet. I am safe. I am home. No more needs to be added. The body has heard enough words. The valley has become almost completely silent. Behind the closed gates, life continues without display. Behind the darkened windows, people are no longer presenting themselves to the world. They are simply inside. You are inside too. Your forehead is free from the road. Your eyes are free from watching. Your mouth is free from answering. Your shoulders are free from the next burden. Your hands are free from the next task. Your back is free from keeping the day upright. Your chest is free from explaining what it feels. Your legs are free from the next journey. Your feet are free from the next step. You do not have to check whether every part has understood. The message can travel slowly. It can reach one area now and another later. It can move through you during the hours when your thinking mind is no longer listening. The message is plain. The day cannot ask more from this body. The roads have closed. The voices have returned home. The gates are at rest. Your body can remain here without offering one more thing. The last work of the day is no longer yours. The valley has accepted the darkness. No door stands open for another request. No voice travels across the road asking you to return. No gate waits beneath your hand. The whole town has moved beyond doing and into the quieter work of being renewed. You can remain where you are. There is nowhere else you need to reach. The body may still hold small traces of effort. A thought may rise and bring one more unfinished matter with it. A sound may return you briefly to the room. None of this means you have left the quiet. A house does not stop belonging to the sleeping town because one floorboard settles. A valley does not lose its stillness because a dog shifts near a door. The night can contain a little movement. It can contain a little thought. It can contain the last pieces of the day finding their place. You do not have to remove them. Let them settle on their own. The mind may bring back a name. Let the name pass down the empty road. It may bring back a face. Let the face remain behind a darkened window. It may bring back a task. Let the task wait beside the closed gate. It may bring back a question. Let the question belong to daylight. You are not required to follow anything that appears. The road can receive it. The darkness can cover it. The valley can keep it until another hour. You have come far enough inward that the day no longer needs your attention. You can let the distance grow. The messages are farther away. The conversations are farther away. The expressions you tried to understand are farther away. The decisions are farther away. The work is farther away. Even the version of you who carried everything is becoming farther away. Not gone, only released from duty. That version of you deserves this. The one who answered. The one who adjusted. The one who tried to remain steady. the one who kept walking from one need to another, the one who thought there would be time to recover later. Later has arrived. It does not need to look dramatic. It can look like this: a body lying down, a room becoming quieter, a mind no longer required to be useful, a person receiving the end of the day. No ceremony is needed. The town did not gather in the road to announce that the work was complete. Each person understood through familiar signs: the fading light, the cooling air, the voices drawing nearer to home, the hands finding the final latch. Your body also knows the signs: the slower movement of thought, the weight behind the eyes, the wish to stop speaking, the relief of not being asked, the small spaces between one thought and another. These are enough. You do not need to chase the feeling of sleep. Chasing keeps the road active. Let sleep find the closed house. Let it arrive without being watched for. It may come soon. It may take its time. You remain worthy of this quiet either way. Even lying awake can become less lonely when there is no argument against it. You can stop asking why you are not farther along. You can stop measuring how many minutes have passed. You can stop treating the body as though it has failed an appointment. The hours are not disappointed in you. The darkness does not compare you with anyone else. The valley makes room for every house, including the one whose lamp is last to dim. You can be that house. No shame, no hurry, no demand. The lamp can remain low until it is ready to go out. A thought may say that morning will come too quickly. Let that thought stand outside. Morning has not arrived. It is not at the gate. It is not asking for your strength. You do not need to begin living it early. There is only this dark road, this closed door, this quiet interior, this body supported beneath its own weight. You can remain here without moving toward the next day. The future does not need to be prevented. It does not need to be rehearsed. It does not need to be carried through these hours. What comes will come in it. It's proper light. You will meet it with the strength available then. You do not have to borrow from that strength now. Keep it. Let it gather unseen. Let the body store what it can. Let the mind become less crowded. Let the heart spend a few hours without being asked to prove its courage. You have been brave in ways no one named. You have continued through moments that might have stopped you once. You have learned, adapted, and endured. Yet courage is not the only way to live. There are hours when you do not need courage. There are hours when nothing must be faced. There are hours when you can be a quiet life behind a closed door. This is one of those hours. No battle enters here. No test waits beside you. No judgment is being prepared. The valley has become dark enough that no one can see what remains unfinished in another home. There is mercy in that. The unwashed cup cannot accuse. The unanswered letter cannot speak. The tool left where it was placed does not know that it is waiting. Only the mind gives these things a voice. The mind can stop lending them one. They can be objects again. A cup, a letter, a tool, a message, a task, nothing more. None has the authority to decide whether you are good. None can measure the love in your life. None can explain your worth. You are not the sum of what remains incomplete. You are the life that carried what it could. You are the heart that kept trying. You are the person now deserving of quiet. Let the inner room become simpler. No past, no future, no argument, no performance. Only warmth where there is warmth. Only darkness where there is darkness. Only breath, only weight, only the support beneath you. The town is no longer a collection of separate duties. From above, it would appear as a few dim shapes within the valley. The roads would be narrow lines disappearing into shadow. The gates would be unseen. The homes would become part of one protected stillness. Your many roles can also become less separate. Worker, parent, partner, friend, caregiver, planner, helper, the one who remembers, the one who keeps peace, the one who answers. You do not have to carry each name into the dark. They can blur at the edges. Beneath them is the simple fact of you, a living person, breathing, feeling, needing, worthy. You do not need a role to deserve care. You do not need a reason to stop. You do not need to remain strong in private. Strength can lie down. The one who carries can be carried by the surface beneath them. The one who watches can close their eyes. The one who listens can let the world become quiet. The one who remembers can forget the day for a few hours. Nothing essential will be lost. What belongs to you will remain. Love will remain. Memory will remain. Your values will remain. Your ability to return will remain. You do not have to hold them consciously for them to exist. The town does not vanish when every lamp is out. It remains in the dark. The homes remain. The gates remain. The people remain. Nothing needs to be visible to be real. You remain yourself even when you are not performing yourself. You remain worthy when no one is watching. You remain loved when no one is speaking. You remain whole while unconscious of your own name. The day cannot take that from you. A difficult season cannot take that from you. Someone else's inability to recognize you cannot take that from you. Your own uncertainty cannot take that from you. You are still here beneath all the effort. Let that be enough. The silence does not ask you to improve. It asks nothing. You can stop offering answers. You can stop searching your memory for what went wrong. You can stop bargaining with tomorrow. You can stop explaining your need for these hours. The night has already accepted you. It arrived without asking what you accomplished. It entered the valley without checking who had been productive. It covered the road used by the busy and the road used by the lonely. It reached every gate. It touched every roof. It came to the home where someone felt proud and to the home where someone felt ashamed. It did not withhold darkness from either one. Receive that equal kindness. You do not need to be the best version of yourself here. You can be the honest version, the one with no polished words, the one who cannot fix another thing, the one who would like to be cared for, the one who has carried enough, the one who is ready to stop. Even if another part is not ready, you can remain. Readiness is not required. The body can enter sleep before the mind agrees with every sentence. The mind can keep a small light while the rest of you becomes heavy. No part has to be forced into darkness. The lamp will dim when it dims. The gate is already closed. You are already inside. There is no danger in taking longer. There is no failure in needing repeated reassurance. Some people have spent years learning that quiet can be interrupted at any moment. Some have learned to remain alert because the home around them was not always peaceful. Some have learned that closing the eyes did not mean the demands would stop. If your body remembers such times, treat it with patience. It is not resisting you. It is protecting you according to an old understanding. You can offer a new experience without arguing with the old one. A closed door that remains closed, a quiet hour that stays quiet, a voice that does not become harsh, a darkness that asks nothing, a body supported without being disturbed. These moments may speak more deeply than instruction. Let this one become part of the evidence. Here is an hour in which you are not being chased. Here is an hour in which no answer is demanded. Here is an hour in which your weariness is not criticized. Here is an hour in which the road remains empty. Here is an hour in which you can stay inside. You do not need to remember these words tomorrow. The body can remember the experience. It can remember that there was once a night when the pressure lessened. It can remember the feeling of one gate closing. It can remember that nothing terrible happened when one task waited. It can remember that you were still worthy while doing nothing. The memory may be quiet. That is enough. Quiet learning still reaches deep places. The valley learns the night through repetition. Every evening, the roads empty again. Every evening, familiar voices return home. Every evening, gates meet their posts. No one has to invent the ending each time. The body may also learn through repetition that the day can end. Not every concern follows you inward. Not every task receives the final word. Not every thought must be answered. The ending can become familiar. The closing can become kinder. Closing can. The return can become easier. For now, only this ending matters. The road is empty. The dogs are inside. The gates are still. The voices have gone. The valley is quiet. You are part of that quiet, not outside it, not watching it, within it. The silence does not surround you like distance. It surrounds you like shelter. You do not have to reach toward it. It is already here. You do not have to make yourself small enough to fit. There is room. You do not have to become calm enough to be accepted. There is room. You do not have to release every thought. There is room. You do not have to forgive everyone. There is room. You do not have to forgive yourself all at once. There is room. You can arrive carrying everything and still enter. The gate did not close to keep you out. It closed after you came home. Let that meaning settle. You are not excluded from peace because part of you is troubled. You are not excluded from care because part of you doubts it. You are not excluded from quiet because the mind is still speaking. You are already inside. The valley does not become quiet by erasing what happened there. The road still bears the faint marks of the day's passing. Dust lies where feet crossed. A gate remembers the movement of many hands. A chair near one doorway remains slightly turned from the last conversation. A bowl waits inside after being carried in from the yard. Nothing has been made unreal. It has only been left in peace. You can leave your own day in peace without pretending it did not matter. The difficult moment can remain true without being reopened. The kind moment can remain precious without being held tightly. The mistake can remain something to address without becoming a punishment. The loss can remain painful without requiring you to stay awake beside it. The work can remain important without entering this room. Everything can keep its proper place. This is what the closing gates teach. A gate does not destroy the road. It creates a boundary between traveling and being home. You have traveled enough through thought. You have gone backward into memory. You have gone forward into possibility. You have crossed the same worry many times. You have stood at mental crossroads trying to choose the safest direction. There is no road to choose now. Every path can end at this doorway. Every thought can arrive and be given no further journey. You can hear one approaching from a distance. You can recognize its familiar step. You can know what it wants from you. Then you can remain inside. The thought may pass the gate. It may wait. It may call once. You do not have to answer. Silence is not cruelty here. Silence is the boundary of the hour. Tomorrow, you may open the gate and see what remains. Some concerns will still be there. Some may have changed. Some may no longer seem worthy of entry. The darkness is permitted to sort nothing consciously. It is enough that you are not sorting. Your mind has spent the day placing people, duties, risks, and hopes in order. Let them be unordered for a while. The valley has no need to arrange itself beneath the dark. The highest home and the lowest home both become quiet shapes. The longest road and the shortest path both disappear from view. Distance loses importance. Status loses importance. The unfinished and the complete are covered by the same night. You can let comparison disappear too. No other person's capacity matters here. No other person's pace. No other person's morning routine. No other person's way of carrying pain. The home across the valley cannot tell you how to settle your own rooms. Your way can be slower. Your way can include tears. Your way can include wakefulness. Your way can include a mind that circles before it becomes still. Your way remains worthy. There is no judge walking the road. No one is checking which window darkened first. No one is recording how long it took for the last voice to stop. You are free from measurement, free from the question of whether you are doing this well, free from the pressure to turn these hours into a success. Let the body take what it can. Let the rest pass by. One sentence may reach you, another may not. One area may become heavy, another may remain tense. One breath may lengthen, the next may be small. All of it belongs. You do not need a perfect descent. You need only the absence of force. The road was not emptied by pushing every traveler away. People returned because the hour had changed. Your thoughts may return in the same natural way. They may realize there is nowhere else to go. They may lose interest in the road. They may become less distinct. A worry may turn into a few words. The words may turn into a sound. The sound may become nothing you need to follow. A memory may lose its edges. A plan may become too distant to complete. The mind may begin to speak in fragments. Let it. Fragments do not need answers. They can fade like voices already beyond the final bend. You can become less available to meaning, less available to sequence, less available to the need for every thought to connect with the next. This is not confusion. It is the mind loosening its daytime order. You do not need to keep the story together. The day has already happened. It does not need to be narrated through the night. Let scenes separate. Let names drift away from faces. Let time become less exact. Let the town have no schedule, no opening hour, no appointment, no expected arrival. Only the dark lying evenly across the valley, only homes inside it, only you inside one of them. There is no need to listen beyond the walls. The distant road can remain distant. The gate can remain unseen. The last voice does not return. The dog near the doorway is quiet. The yard is empty. The air has cooled. Every ordinary thing has accepted the hour. The roof does not resist the dark. The stones along the path do not ask for light. The door does not wonder when it will open again. They remain. You can remain. Nothing more complicated than that. Remain without guarding. Remain without planning. Remain without becoming ready. The body may grow heavier because it no longer has to carry itself toward a purpose. Let the weight spread. Let it be received. You do not need to lift yourself away from the surface. You do not need to hold any part above another. The whole of you can belong to where you are. The back can belong to the bed. The arms can belong beside you. The head can belong to the pillow. The legs can belong to stillness. No part needs to report for duty. The town has no work left for you. The valley has no message to deliver. The gates need no keeper. The roads need no witness. The homes need no light from your window. You can disappear into the shared dark without being lost. You are known by the life within you, not by how visible you remain. You can become quiet and still exist. You can become unreachable and still be loved. You can stop responding and still belong. Let belonging require nothing now, not a word, not a gesture, not an effort, only your presence, growing less defined as the hours deepen. Before the words become smaller, let the quiet reach the places that still expect to be forgotten. There may be a part of you that believes care always arrives for someone else first. It has watched you remember birthdays, needs, preferences, medicines, times, and promises. It has watched you make room in your mind for the lives around you. It has watched you carry details because use forgetting them might inconvenience or hurt someone. That part may wonder who remembers you. It may wonder who notices when your voice changes. It may wonder who sees the moment you stop asking, because asking has become too tiring. It may wonder whether anyone would close the gate for you if your own hands could not do it. Do not rush to answer. The ache inside the question deserves room. Being capable does not remove the longing to be considered. Being independent does not remove the wish for someone to think ahead on your behalf. Being private does not mean you never want to be understood. You may have become skilled at caring for yourself because you had to. That skill is valuable. It can also be lonely. The valley offers no grand answer to that loneliness. It offers a quieter truth. Every home is part of the town, even when its door is closed. Every person inside belongs to something wider than the room around them. The darkness reaches across the spaces between houses. It covers the road that connects one door to another. No home must keep its lamp burning to prove that it belongs. You do not have to remain visible to remain connected. You do not have to send one more message to secure your place in someone's life. You do not have to be useful through the night. Let belonging exist without evidence. Let care be possible even when it is not currently being expressed in the form you most need. This does not ask you to accept neglect. It does not ask you to pretend that loneliness is enough. It only keeps this hour from becoming another place where you abandon yourself because someone else was not present. You can stay near the part that feels uncared for. You can refuse to leave it alone. You do not need perfect words. Your presence is the beginning. The town is quiet, but it is not indifferent. Behind one wall, someone checks that a door is secure. Behind another, a blanket is drawn around a sleeping child. In another home, a cup of water has been left within reach. At another doorway, a dog has been called in before the cold deepens. Care moves through ordinary choices. Much of it is never announced. Much of it is not seen by the person who benefits from it. You may also have been cared for in small ways that the worn mind cannot collect right now. A person who waited for you. A door someone opened. A message sent without demand. A meal prepared. A place made ready. A quiet acceptance of your boundary. A moment in which someone did not ask for more. These do not cancel the care that was missing. They do not excuse anyone who failed you. They can remain small lights of their own. You do not have to count them. You do not have to use gratitude to silence pain. Let care and disappointment exist in the same town. One home can contain warmth, while another room contains grief. The valley has space for both. You have space for both. You can acknowledge what you received. You can grieve what you needed. Neither truth has to remove the other. The heart does not need to choose only one. It can become quiet while holding complexity. It can stop defending one feeling against another. It can say, some people loved me imperfectly. It can say, some needs went unseen. It can say, I still deserve tenderness. It can say, I do not have to solve this before morning. The final sentence matters most for now. You do not have to solve the history of care in your life before morning. You do not have to decide who failed, who tried, who understood, or who should have known. Those questions may deserve daylight support and honest boundaries. They do not deserve every remaining hour of your energy. Let them wait beyond the gate. The valley will not lose them. Morning can return them in clearer light if they still need your attention. Morning may also bring something smaller than an answer, a little more steadiness, a little less sharpness around the memory, a clearer sense of what belongs to you, a willingness to ask for help, a boundary that no longer feels cruel, a simple recognition that you need a different kind of support. You do not need to know which one will come. The promise is not that every feeling will be changed by dawn. The promise is that you do not have to keep pressing on the wound through the night. You can leave it untouched for a while. You can stop checking whether it still hurts. You can place no new demand upon it. That is also care. The town understands the protection of closed doors. A door does not mean the people inside have stopped loving the road, the neighbors, or the wider valley. It means what is inside needs privacy. Your tender places need privacy too. They do not have to be exposed to every memory. They do not have to answer every accusation from the mind. They do not have to be explained to an imagined audience. They can remain within, protected from unnecessary review, protected from comparisons, protected from the old demand to become fine quickly. Let your tender places be unobserved. Let them lie beyond the reach of performance. You do not have to watch them mend. You do not have to make them mend. You only need to stop disturbing them for a few hours. The darkness asks nothing more. The valley asks nothing more. Your own heart can ask nothing more. This may be what being cared for feels like at first. Not a great warmth, not a sudden certainty. The absence of another demand, the relief of not being corrected, the freedom to remain unfinished, the knowledge that no part of you is being sent back outside. A quieter form of care can be enough for this hour. Let it come without examination. Let it sit near you. Let it stay, even if you cannot feel it clearly. The dog has been called in. The gate has been secured. The final voices are home. No one in the valley needs you to keep watch over whether the care is working. You can be the person for whom the door was closed. You can be the life brought safely inward. You can be the one not forgotten at the edge of the road. Even if you have felt forgotten before, this moment does not have to repeat that leaving. Stay, not as a duty, as an act of loyalty toward your own worn heart. Stay until the road no longer seems to call you. Stay until the questions lose some of their urgency. Stay until the part that expected abandonment begins to understand that you have not gone. You are here. You have not left yourself outside. You have not demanded that pain become pleasant before it can enter. You have not required confidence. You have not required gratitude. You have made room. The inner home includes every part that arrived, the strong part, the angry part, the frightened part, the lonely part, the part that has no name for what it feels. All have crossed the threshold. The gate can remain closed because no one has been left behind. The last task is not to become different. The last task is no task at all. Let the words become fewer. Let the road disappear. Let the houses fade into one dark shape. Let the valley become still beneath you. Let your name grow quiet. Let the day lose its hold. No more returning. No more reviewing, no more preparing, no more carrying. inside, safe, unseen, cared for, nothing to prove, nothing to finish, nothing to answer. The breath enters, the breath leaves, the body remains, the valley remains, darkness remains. You can sink without knowing how far. You can drift without choosing a direction. You can forget the words. You can forget the room. You can let the edges loosen. The face is quiet. The jaw is quiet. The throat is quiet. The shoulders are quiet. The hands are quiet. The chest is quiet. The legs are quiet. The feet are quiet. The whole body is no longer waiting for the next thing. The next thing can wait for itself. You do not need to meet it halfway. This hour belongs to no demand. This breath belongs to no duty. This body belongs to no task. You belong to yourself. You belong inside the care you kept offering outward. You belong among the darkened homes. You belong in the valley's agreement. Enough for today, enough effort, enough thought, enough watching, enough carrying. The final gate is closed. The final voice is home. The final light is low. You can let the mind become a distant room, a room with no question on the table, a room with no one waiting, a room without a clock, a room that does not need to be entered again. Stay here, lower, quieter, nearer to sleep. No need to hurry, no need to know, no need to try. The body knows, the night knows, the valley knows. You are home, you are cared for, you are no longer required, you are free to disappear from the day. Let the final vow rise once. I close the gate and enter quiet. Nothing follows you through it. No unfinished word, no disappointed face, no imagined future. The gate rests against its post. Your hand can leave it. The road is beyond you now. The town is within darkness. The valley keeps watch without asking you to. You can be the one who no longer watches. You can be the one who receives. You can be the one who is carried by the hours. You can be the one whose strength returns without being forced. You can be the one who wakes without having earned kindness. No promise needs to be made about how you will feel. Morning does not need perfection from you. It will meet whoever wakes. The rested part, the uncertain part, the part still carrying sadness, the part with a little more room. All of you can enter it when it comes. Not now, later. For now the valley is dark. For now the roads are empty. For now every gate is still. For now nothing calls. Stay inside. Stay quiet. Stay with the weight beneath you. then leave even that. No effort, no answer, no duty. Rest now. Morning will be kind. The whole valley keeps your peace until dawn.